welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Okay, I'm Jody Rivers, Pep's disciple, and the first video I want to give you is to give you all an insight into the main reason why we all love football. So before you're a coach, before you're a manager, before you play the game at any level, you're a fan. So what I wanted to do in this first post is to give you an insight into how much football means to me. So I'm going to take you back to when I was a little boy, travelling from Salisbury up to the Dell where Southampton used to play, and then give you a little bit of an insight into what how I used to feel when I used to go down to there with Dad. It brings a smile to my face, and then bring you to this place, okay, and give you a journey of a little bit of how I feel when I'm walking towards the ground on a match day, but also, okay, a little bit of history and the fact that how I know the football club and how I know the old players, and how that focus has given me not just a focus towards football, but a focus in life. So I'm going to first of all take you to the Dow, then I'll bring you back here. Enjoy the journey. So on my journey, when we used to come down to the old Dow, we always used to know we were nearly here, because we used to come up to these traffic lights. It was really exciting because if you see this billboard now that says a cruise liner up there, that used to have a big picture of Matt Le Tissier, and they used to say, "You're now entering God's country." And I used to always get excited because I knew that we were near the Dow. So we're coming into Southampton now, and then just up here now is a church, and I always used to get excited and get butterflies because I knew I was close to going and watching football. So we come off here, and then we've got some real nice memories as we come in here. I always remember the docks being over there and seeing big ships and stuff, but I'd be talking and listening to the radio, waiting for the team news to come in, and then Dad would indicate, like I am now. I'm starting to get butterflies come back, like when I was a little boy, really excited. And we would come round, and this is where we would try and park. So you'd see all the red and white scarves and shirts and people walking, and you knew you were quite close. So if you just have a look at this church, okay, we used to, if we couldn't park up where I'll show you in a minute, where they're doing the roadworks here, they used to have bollards, and police would stand there, and what would happen is that I would get out, and me and my brother would get out, and my brother would distract the policeman, and I would move the bollard down a little bit so we could fit Dad's Mini in at the end. So it's little memories like that I'm sure everyone's got. I remember the school being here, yeah, and we used to be able to park in here. And yeah, this drive, even though the Dells, which I'll show you in a minute, is a housing estate, it does bring back nice memories, that's for sure. There used to be, up here now is a co-op. That wasn't a co-op, that was a bakery. So I always remember sometimes we would be treated, we would go in and get a cake before the game. So when I was little, Dad used to come and pick me up. I always just remember I'd be in my Saints kit and I'd be playing out on a little island in front of our house in Salisbury, and I'd be waiting for Dad to come and get me, all excited knowing that I'm going to the game, pretending to be my heroes that I was going to go and watch. And then Dad would come around the corner in his Mini, I'd run in and tell Mum he was there, and I'd grab my Cornish pasty, can of Coke, packet of crisps, and off we'd go. Dad was renowned for driving really fast, so we used to get down quite quick. But all these roads now, so you see all these here, so when you go to football grounds now, you see obviously like big spaces mainly around new stadiums, but all these like driveways would be full up with hot dog stands, and people would hire out their driveways for like £1 or £2. But yeah, I always remember now the smell of cigarette smoke, even though I've never smoked in my life. When I smell cigarette smoke on a Saturday, I love it because it brings me back to when I used to come down here. And hot dogs, that combination of the two. So all these driveways here would have hot dog stands in them. You can just see the top of the Dell coming now, okay? So where we're coming up to these lights, in the distance there, those new houses, so the newer tiles is the Dell. On the left-hand side over there, if you have a look, it's the Winston Hotel. It was a pub, and I always remember, it's one of the things that sticks in my mind most about coming to watch Saints, is that it used to be rammed with away fans. I remember Leeds United and Liverpool fans there making the most noise. They stick out in my memory probably the most. So we're coming round to Milton Road. So if you're a Saints fan, you'll know that it was Milton Road, Archers Road is the main stands, but that excitement now was really building. I'd be walking down here, so excited. I always remember the school being here as well. And then we come round, and this is the Dell. So this was where the car park is, straight on the left, and where you would also find the club shop and the ticket office, and then the actual Dell would be in here. So we're just about now to drive into the Dell. So this would be where the main stand was. You see the sign up there, which is cool. We've got that. And then we're going to come in to the Dell. Okay. We'll stay in the van, but if you want to just home in on that name there, can you home in? Letitia Court. So that's obviously named after Matt Letitia. And then as you drive round, oh, delivery driver in the way, cheers for that, mate. Trying to do my first YouTube post there. Let's see if we can get round there. Can we see who that is? Wallace Court, after Danny, Rod, I suppose Ray as well. And then we come round here. Mickey Shannon. And then Ted Bates is down there. If you have a little look here, that grass there, so just in that little area there, that is the centre spot, where the Dell centre spot used to be. So really, really amazing memories coming down. And what I love about it all is, as you can see, the row of houses is the way the stadium was. So the stadium, you'd have the Milton Road end, the Archers Road end, where I used to stand with Dad. And I always remember he used to put me at the front, and we used to try and sort of squeeze through and, you know, go and stand next to a kid you've never spoke to before, and then Dad would go back with the adults and then come down and get me at half time, give me my pasty and my Coke, and then when he'd get me at the end of the game. And I come back here now, and when I think about doing this YouTube channel and talking about coaching and tactics and things like that, it's very good. And it was very important, I think, as well, though, that I remember that the reason why we all fall in love with football, and that's coming to watch it when we're little boys and little girls. So it's cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you off to St Mary's Stadium. Yeah, but quite emotional at times when I come out. I still drive down here sometimes when I'm coming to Southampton shopping. I'll come up here and just drive round. So that's how much I love this place and how much I love football. So we've come from the Dell, where I've told you about that excitement that I had when I was a little boy. And now we come to St Mary's Stadium. So this is the pathway that I walk down with my dad and my daughter, Lauren, my oldest daughter, that come now. And it really, really one of my favourite places in the world, probably, this tunnel, even though it's just the stadium. So if you have a look here, there's Russell Osman. I used to pretend to do his left-footed free kicks in the garden. And then the three Wallace brothers, or two of the three, I should say. So you've got Rodney and Ray. Of course, they were made history by becoming the first three brothers to play in the same team in the top flight, which was amazing. I remember Rod, really good winger, going down the wing, step overs, left foot, right foot, which was fantastic. Edward Ostenstad is someone, I remember him scoring the hat-trick against Manchester United. They did take the goal off of him, I know, the third goal, but when we beat Man United 6-3, which is a fond memory. So I'll take you down, okay, the badge, obviously, that I love. So that excitement when you put your first kit on, for example, which is amazing. And then you've got Brett Ormerod. I remember that goal was him celebrating in the FA Cup semi-final of 2003. That was at Villa Park, and I went to that game on my own. So I could only get one ticket, so I had a season ticket on my own, and I went to that game on my own. That was April 2003, so we beat Watford to get to the final. Over here, like before I was born, 1976, but it's important that I'm sure that fans, you remember your history, so holding up the cup and, you know, the winning goal going in, which is great. Over here, we've got Franny Benali, Klaus Lunderbaum, Klaus after you. Okay, so Franny and Klaus. So Franny is someone that I call a role model to me now. I'm very fortunate enough to work with him at Matt Le Tissier Natural Coaching, and he's been more than a coach to me. He's been a life coach, how to speak to people, how to be around people, just an absolute role model. So when I see him up here with Klaus there, it sort of fills me with pride to say that I know him. So we'll keep walking. Laurie McMenemy, the most successful manager of our history, winning the 1976 FA Cup. Alan Ball, okay, now I'm fortunate enough to be friends with his daughter, and my youngest daughter goes to her dance lessons. So that's something to be proud of. Kevin Keegan, David Armstrong, and up there in the top is Nick Holmes. There's some cracking players there, Steve Moran, Steve Williams, who I remember briefly seeing when I was a little boy. And this here is Chris Nichol, who was the manager when I first came to the Dell, and that's one of my dad's favourite players. There's Danny Wallace, a great player that I remember watching as well. And then we move down and we look at Alan Shearer, Premier League's all-time record scorer. People tend to forget where he started and who he started with. Here's Fran again. Now, before I talk about this man, that everyone that knows me will know how much he means to me, I want to take you to this man. Now, this man is Colin Clark. So that's Gordon Hobson, that's Colin Clark. And that is my first Southampton hero. It wasn't Matt. So Colin Clark was my first Southampton hero. Watched him in 1985, 1986. Northern Ireland striker, scored loads of goals, and I used to go and pretend to be him before that man came along. So coming over to this man now, they say you should never meet your heroes because they're only going to disappoint. I cannot tell you how much this man means to me. He's given me the opportunity to live out my dream as a coach under his name. He's always there to guide me, to help me. Never too much trouble. And not only is he my hero now, but I'm lucky enough to call him my friend. So that's who I used to be in the playground. This is the man that I used to pretend to be with his skills and the goals he scored for us. But to now call him my friend and be able to phone him if I need to at times is just amazing. So that's him. Then we moved down, Marion Ahaz. I always loved Marion. He came along at a time when we didn't have a great side, but he was a sparkle in a dull side in a way. Shone up the Dell, an amazing player. And then we get a little bit recent. Dreams do come true. So Gareth Bale, now one of the best players in the world. Okay, started here. Who'd have thought that he'd have gone on to play Real Madrid when he was playing for us? As we move down, Marcus Lieber when he came along and saved the club. So I'm so grateful for that. Okay, and when I get to this this part of it, I'm walking down here and I'm getting excited, and all the the history around. I always look at what Marcus Lieber's done is amazing for us. If Matt Le Tissier is God, this is Jesus. Ricky, Lambert. When we were in the depths of League One, signed for Bristol Rovers for £1 million, and what he done for the football club is nothing short of amazing. And if anything, for me, along with Jose Font, my adulthood heroes, if you like, got Beats when we won the JVT, which was amazing for us. deserves more credit than what he probably gets. Pella and Tadic, I remember that. We went 8-0 against Sunderland. I remember coming out of there never feeling anything like it a few years ago. Best centre-back in the world. And I'll talk about that in my videos over the next few months. This is the best centre-back in the world. Mark Virgil van Dijk is the best centre-back in the world. He scored against Inter Milan there. And then we pretty much on. So when I walk down here, even though I've given you a little bit of history of the club and what have you, I'm getting excited, so I come round, I'm excited, I still get my butterflies, and then we walk down here. So as I'm coming down here now, we'll be talking, me, Lauren and Dad, about the game and the team selection. So just go careful with the steps. You all right with the steps? Yeah. So we'll be coming down here, talking about the team selection, thinking about what's the opponent. So this would be full up now with the away fans as well, singing their songs. And I think that when you think to yourself that you go to football and you're with your mum and your dad, this is when you get really excited, when you can see the stadium and the atmosphere's building. And it just takes me, you know, to a match day now, and I just think to myself how much I love football and what football's done for me. It gives me something to look forward to. I've never taken drugs in my life, I've never smoked in my life. And then we come down, and then you still, to this day, I get the excitement of getting to the stadium. So as we walk on, it's, you can imagine now the little boys, little girls, all excited, and you know, the atmosphere's building, and it's just a great place to be. And I think that football gives you something. It doesn't matter whether you have got money troubles, whether you've got family troubles, whether the wife's giving you a hassle. When you come here, you get that excitement of being a fan, and that's what I want to come out in my videos when I talk about coaching, when I talk about everything else. Is first and foremost, before we do anything, coach, play, just being that little boy in the playground and that excitement of coming down here. So once I get here, it all builds up to that crescendo of going into the stadium, watching the game, and then obviously those feelings as you come out. But this to me is the most magical place on earth. And sometimes I even come here if I want to think, if I'm in Southampton in the area. My wife and my kids laugh because I'll purposely drive past the stadium. But it's just, like I keep saying, it's a magical place for me. And I hope that, you know, my first video showing you how much I love football, how much everything means to me, how much that focus, when I look back there, of all the old players, and I can tell you all about them and who they are. I hope that gives you you know, a little bit of insight into how much football means to me, not just coaching, not just playing, but watching and everything about it. So it all builds up to a crescendo, okay, which is this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the
So the game's finished, okay, you've always got those emotions, those feelings, okay, you're coming out, are you disappointed, are you happy, are you sad, are you ecstatic, have you seen a last minute goal go in, for you, against you, okay, football, the greatest game in the world. I hope you've enjoyed my first post, giving you an insight into why I love football and